Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're all having a lovely day. I hope that my happiness as a result of my ability to do my new exercise routine again, finally, is contagious to all of you, and I am really grateful that I got to spend a little bit of time sitting by that little lake in Walpole, flying my drone, getting to clear my head for a while. New Hampshire's a fucking beautiful state. Anyway, so what I wanted to go over today is the new fuckface mayor of New York City that has replaced the old fuckface mayor of New York City, Mr. Eric Adams. It says here, New York's Adams tells CEOs to end work-from-home policies. The time frame is now, Eric Adams says to businesses. Only 28% of workers are going into New York metro area offices. There's one question I'm going to have of what do you notice missing from this article in its entirety when we get done with it. So it says New York City Mayor Eric Adams told leaders of major companies in the city that it was time to get their workers back in offices, emphasizing that empty buildings are holding back the city's pandemic recovery. We can't send mixed messages, Adams said of different major banks and tech companies that continue to delay return dates. We can't keep kicking the can down the road. The mayor said he met with 100 chief executive officers this week as part of scheduled meetings his office has with both small businesses and corporations in the city. He used the meeting to coax them into participating in his summer youth jobs expansion and to get their workers back to the office to stimulate the city's economy. Now is the time for us to get back, Adams said in a press conference for his first budget presentation. I'm hoping with the next few weeks the CEOs map out a real plan of this is when you need to come back. A winter surge in COVID cases due to the highly transmissible Omicron variant has hampered a slow return offices. That progress has peaked at over 35% in December and then plummeted down to just over 10% in January, the mayor said, as the 7-day average of cases in the city reached their pandemic peak. The virus has slowed since, and the current 7-day average of positive cases in the city is roughly 1,100. Citigroup workers in New York City region were asked to prepare to come back to the office last week, while Wells Fargo said it's planning to bring the employees back to the office in mid-March. Still, only 28% of workers are swiping in the offices in the New York City metro area, according to data from security company Castle Systems as of February 9th. It's time to get back to work, Adams said. The time frame is now. I'm going to work. Now, what is missing from this article? Give you a couple of seconds to guess. You know what's missing? What's in it for the people that are going back? What's in it for the company? See, again, this is the same problem that him and Kathy Hochul both have, and this is what I discussed in a recent video, where I said New York governor is begging people to return to the office, quote, so we can all thrive. Here's the thing. If an ex abuses me, if an ex is mean to me, if an ex is always yelling and screaming at me, and then I move on, and I find somebody else, and that ex comes back to me and says, never mind, I'm willing to date you again. Why should I? You were mean to me. You screamed at me. You yelled at me. You treated me like crap. Explain to me, how have you changed? Tell me how you're going to sweeten the pot so that I should try again. Now, let's say you're a business in New York City, and they just literally just took the switch to the economy and went, doop. You have now figured out how to make do with your employees working at home. That's what I talked about in this video. You have figured out how that instead of having $300,000 a month in office space, now nobody has an office, so you're making do with maybe $10,000 a month in office space. Can Eric Adams or Kathy Hochul explain to you, a business owner in New York City, why, if you figured out how to downsize from $300,000 a month in office space to $10,000 and get everybody else to work remotely, what is the benefit to you to spend that additional money on office space? What is the benefit to you to having each one of your employees wasting 20 to 40 to an hour every single day, 20, 40 minutes every single day on a commute? Back and forth, waste money on that commute every single day, be aggravated during that commute every single day when those employees could be happier working from home. Where's the benefit? Nowhere here does this mayor or this governor give two shits of a fuck about what's in it for them. Just like the crazy ex that just doesn't really give a shit about whether or not they treat you well, whether or not they were nice to you. They just show back up in your life and like, hey, I'm here, pay attention to me again. No, there's a reason. There's a reason that people are not coming back. They can do their job at home, and they figured out they can do their job at home. They are going to do that job at home. Further, those business owners understand that if shit hits the fan again, well, this city has the ability to just take the economy and just doop, just like a light switch. And you know what they thought? Okay, cool. You can do that? Fine. We are going to come up with a way to run our business where if you decide to do that, we're not completely fucked again. And I don't blame them for doing that. Next thing, when it comes to rent, I have gone over this in many, many, many videos. We have a very, very interesting way of dealing with economics in New York City. You see, here's how it works. When demand goes down and supply goes up, price goes up. Price never goes down. In this video that I did over here, I was showing you that there was an actual ad for a place. There was a gift shop that is literally a quarter the size of this store. This little piece of crap over here was going for something like $50,000 per month. This gift shop, this right here, $50,000 a month. That's it. And I went over many different places that were like this, pre-COVID and also post-COVID. I have gone over how they are all still empty 2 years later in this little playlist over here. Dead City Neighborhood Walkthroughs, New York City, a documentary of urban decay. I go through a bunch of different places that I visited in 2019 that are still vacant in 2021, that are still vacant into 2022. And do you think that any of these places have come to reality? Of course not. Just like the Crazy X, it's not the world that has... Just like the Crazy X, it's not them that has to change. It's you. They never have to change. They never have to improve their personality. They never have to learn to treat people with respect. All of those places at $400, $500 a square foot, these offices that are going for $200, $300 a square foot for fucking 30% loss factor, they don't have to change. You do. Why do you have to change? So that the city can recover again. You have to change so that the city can recover. You understand, right? Because again, this is one of the things I went over in that video. When you take a look at the city budget and the projections for the city budget, over 30% of this shit is property tax. How are the building owners going to pay the property tax if nobody pays the rent? Well, that's a big problem. And the city needs its money, and the state needs its money to fund every single one of the programs that they never came up with an actually rational way to fund. This is incredibly bothersome. Now, obviously, I have a bias here. I have a clear-cut bias. I have a lease on this place for the next 8 years. Obviously, it would benefit me, given that I have a lease in this place for the next 8 years, that is going to be $13,000 at the end of this year and going up every single year. That's my monthly rent, by the way, not my yearly rent. $13,000 a month. I have a vested interest in wanting everybody to come back because I need those people to be here so that I can pay my employees, so that I can make enough money to pay my landlord, keep them happy, keep them off my back. But I can't just like lie about it. I can't look all of you in the eye and say, you all need to come back so that I can prosper. You need to come back so that my arrangements that I already made can survive. I don't care if you have a better life. I don't care if you get to avoid 2 hours of commuting. I don't care if you work more efficiently. I don't care if you save money. I don't care if you're happier. You need to go back to the older, shittier way of doing things so that I can thrive. I can't do that. I feel scummy doing that. Like it's just, ugh. I mean, no. If this is so disgustingly disingenuous. It's just, it doesn't matter if you're happy. It doesn't matter if we screwed your business over. It doesn't matter if we never cared about your business to begin with and treated you like shit the entire time. You need to change everything and spend radically more money right now than what you learned how to do in 2021 so that we can all go back to the way things were. But what's in it for them? What's in it for those businesses that now realize that $300,000 a month in office space, we don't need it anymore? What's in it for those employees that figured out that they can have homes that are 2 or 3 times the size for half as much money and not have to deal with a commute every day? What's in it for them? They're never mentioned. Kathy Hochul never mentions what's in it for them. Eric Adams never mentions what's in it for them. None of these people think about what's in it for them. They're only thinking about what's in it for themselves. And it's something to think about. It would be really easy for me to get up here and say, hey, everybody, it's time to get back to work. Look at how amazing New York City is. And yeah, I don't know, try to be some sort of bullshit influencer and go around and try to propagandize you into thinking that it's so much fun to be here and you just got to return even though it costs so much money. Because I have a lot of interest in here. This lease has another 8 years on it. It's $13,000 a month. That is bleeding me dry. And if there were more customers here, maybe it wouldn't be. But I can't sit up here and be that fucking selfish with a straight face and say you all need to change your lives so that my finances can be better. That is so disgusting. That is so shitty. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. And in the next day or two, I promise, I'm going to get some footage of me flying that little drone by that lake in Walpole. I love that place. It's actually my happy space. It's very far away from where my actual apartment is, but it's really, really nice. And it's not a long drive away. And it's kind of like a place where I can go and I can think and I can just kind of mill over all the decisions that I have to make in life, and a place that is just devoid of exhaust and honking and just all the crap that you see here. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye now.